Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Today, we are going to be live streaming the earning reports for both Google's mother company known as Alphabet and Microsoft. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that we're looking at. Again, both of these companies are set to report earnings after the market closes, which is in the next 4 minutes. So sit back, relax, and let's capture the market's reaction to two of one of the biggest tech companies that are publicly traded. So it's not Apple, right? But it's Alphabet and Microsoft, both in the $1 trillion market cap. So it's definitely a fun experience. If this is your first time tuning on in, make sure that you drop a thumbs up on the live stream, and also don't forget to subscribe if you feel like we are. I'm just going to be inviting some of the people here from Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, that's the third link in the description down below. So let me go ahead. Alrighty. Here we go. We got NASDAQ going back to retest previous resistance. Again, this means absolutely nothing because this is all on the technical side, right? Technicals are great. I love being a technical trader, but it's also important to be real, right? And when fundamentals come into play, right? When earning reports are about to be released, I don't care what any technical analysis says. It does not forecast any form of earning reports, right? There's market expectation, and then with what is actually reported, then we have to give the market time to pretty much digest what it thinks of those reports. There's two parts that I really like to focus on. There's the earnings report and then the earnings call. In my opinion, I think that the earnings call is often more valuable than the actual earnings report. Earnings report is based off of the previous quarter. Earnings call is based off of the previous quarter, but also gives a forecast and future guidance and expectation for up and coming quarters, which I think is more valuable for current investors, right? Do we want to continue to invest our money here, or do we want to sell, lock in profits, and move our money elsewhere because maybe whatever it is that Google or Microsoft forecast, it doesn't meet current investors' expectation, right? That could be something. But we'll see. We'll see how many times they can talk about AI, or how many times AI is stated in their earnings report. So let me go ahead and bring this up very quickly. So we got Alphabet, also known as Google's mother company, with an expectation for earnings per share of $1.45 per share, and their overall revenue at $75.98 billion. We have the overall Microsoft earnings per share at $2.65, with the revenue expectation of $54.53 billion. So we can look at the previous earnings report. This was on July 25th, and you can see that based off of what was expected versus what was reported, it came in higher than what was expected, right? You can see in the red, this was the time that it came in lower than what was expected. So normally Microsoft tends to do pretty well with that. When it comes down to Google, it looks like they're 50-50 based off of the previous 4 earning reports, right? So we'll see. We'll see if Q3 was a strong report or strong quarter for Alphabet. Because actually taking this into consideration, this would be similar to, this would be Q3 of 2022. So, didn't look like they did too well. But that was last year. So, again, new year, new me, right? We'll see if new year, new earning reports. So we got less than 1 minute left until we have a few seconds left until market closes. So let's see what we got going on here. Alrighty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Remember, if you're an absolute beginner, this is probably not the time where you should be investing your money during earning reports and earnings season. There's really high volatility. I just like to bring awareness to this. I don't like to set any false expectation, and I like our beginners to know that or be aware of the conditions that they're exposing themselves to, right? It's a very, very risky time to invest or even trade your money. So please be aware of that. And look at that. We got Google running up 0.48%. There it goes. Google is running up after market hours. We got Microsoft up 2.5% after market hours. Microsoft is absolutely skyrocketing right now. I'm sure that's helping out Google. I'm not sure if this is from Google's doings or if it's just from Microsoft. It looks like Microsoft is pulling on back a little bit. Let's be careful with this. If this is anything like Tesla's earnings, do you guys remember this last week? Tesla reported earnings, it went in the green, and then it just absolutely crashed. And then the following day, it was down 10%. Now, Microsoft is a very different company than Tesla, so let's not get those confused. There it goes, 3% in the green. 3% in the green for Microsoft, 4% in the green for Microsoft, and it's running. Look at that. We got TQQQ up 1.4% after market hours. This is insane. All thanks to Microsoft. 4.3%, 4.65%, 4.7%, 4.87%. We're about to hit 5%. Look at that. 4.98. Wow. Let's see what they actually reported. Here it goes. Whoa, completely blew the expectations out of the water. 2.99 for their earnings per share versus the expectation of 2.65, and their revenue came in over $2 billion more than what was already expected. So a very strong earning reports from Microsoft, nothing yet from Google. So we'll see if their guidance call follows, but I mean, there's a reason that Microsoft trades at a $2.46 trillion market cap. They don't F around, right? They don't mess around. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't mess around. The closest that I've gotten to saying the F word in one of these live streams. And Google absolutely tanking 1.7. Oh, bro. I just spit all over my screen. Jesus. Way to bring down the market with you. Oh, this is not going to help out Microsoft. Holy smokes. It's bringing the NASDAQ market down with it. What a change of directions. Look at that. Google, you dirty dog. Down 6%. Think about this, guys. Do the math. $1.75 trillion, losing 6% in 2 minutes. Wow, wow, wow. Killed the rally so bad. I completely agree. Holy smokes. All right. It looks like it might be showing signs of a support. Let's see. It did not help out Microsoft. It's gonna ruin the momentum. Unless all of a sudden, what the heck? Yeah, it's bringing down the rest of the market down with it. Look at that. Meta is down 2%. Meta is a somewhat more similar platform to Google than it is to Microsoft. So I can see why Meta is selling off, right? It has to probably do based off of ad-based revenue, right? That's how a majority of these platforms make their money. Wow. 6.2% in the red after market hours, $1.75 trillion market cap. We have to look at the numbers, right? Let's look at the numbers for Google. Google, you dirty dog. And look, they didn't miss their EPS or their revenue. And this is the crazy part about the market. How many times have I said it? It is not just about what they report for their quarterly earnings, but it's based off of what they state and their future guidance, right? So I'm sure in their actual earnings report, there's something that talks about maybe some form of struggle for up and coming quarters, right? $1.55 versus the expectation of $1.45, 76.69 billion. Like that's looking at the numbers themselves for Google. That is not bad. Yet it's down 5% after market hours. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I can't even imagine like where the market would be. Imagine if both Microsoft and Google were both in the green. Oh man, like that could have been an amazing recovery for the NASDAQ market. But now what does this tell us? So what does this tell us coming from these two companies? Because the NASDAQ market had potential to recover. So it's telling us that Google, it hit its earnings, right? Expectation. But what is off with that? I'm going to have to pay attention to their earnings call because I feel like this is going to set the expectation for something like Meta. Oh, here it goes. Google looks like it's trying to make a comeback. Let's see if the bounce happens. There it goes, down less than 4%. Let's see if it gets it. MACD, RSI, all that looks good. I'm not going to trade this. I want to look a little bit more into it. But wow, like what a confusing time, right? Because we have one company that exceeded, not only exceeded expectation, but the market digested it in a positive way. And we see this so many times. There might be some beginners here that might be like, Ricky, what the heck? I don't get it. How does it report positive or better than expected earnings, yet the stock still crashes? Yes. Welcome to the stock market. Literally, like, this is why I say it so many times. It doesn't even matter sometimes what they report. I've seen companies report bad or worse than expected earnings, and yet they skyrocket. It is just how the markets digest those reports. The market decides ultimately, right? You either dance with the market or you get eaten by it. And there it goes, already getting rejected right away. Right then again, lower highs. Earnings are always like this. Yeah, it's literally a roller coaster. So when you ask the question, why do I not want to trade super aggressive during this time of the year? It's very simple. It's because of the uncertainty, because of the volatility, and how things sometimes don't always make the most sense at the surface. And as you're just getting started, that is normally what you're paying attention to. So just to look out for yourself, right? You want to be selfish in this market. And knowing that you're going to be open to more risk. This is why I love to remind beginners. And I know a lot of people get frustrated, like, why would you ever say that? My job, right? If you're experienced, if you're an adult, right? If you look after yourself, if you've been in this market for a while, my concern isn't you. My concern is the people that have never done this before, that this is the first time that they're experiencing earnings season. And they're eager, right? Because it's such an interesting time to pay attention. But it's also very important to make them aware of the risk. Everyone always likes to talk about the potential, but we never like to cover the risk. And that is why within LPP, we have a whole section that covers risk management, right? It is so important. Making money in the stock market is one part. Keeping it is a completely different monster, right? Oh man. NASDAQ market is pretty much break even. But realistically, NASDAQ market is still, it performed very well today. It bounced at a previous support range that was the same as yesterday, right? We saw this same support range. I called it out to all of the people that are part of my LPP team. So I wasn't surprised that it bounced here. I made them all aware that NASDAQ is approaching a previous support range and that we were reversing here, right? We got that buy signal, and it looks like it recovered. Since then, it went back to retest previous highs. It's a textbook setup, and it was a really nice recovery from what we experienced. So I don't see anything bad with this. It's really just Google's the Debbie Downer, and I'm going to look more into it, but it has to be revenue-based issues, like some form of slowdown, something like that, because Meta is also down, and Meta and Google make money in very similar ways. Microsoft is obviously a different product, right? So I got smoked in earnings season last year due to my ignorance. Thank you for bringing attention to this. Of course, Matthew. Of course. Well, I appreciate you taking time and even just paying attention to us here within these live streams. So I think it's going to be a very right markets digesting the earning reports right now like this. Right, Google is down, Microsoft is up. I want to remind you that there's normally earnings calls. And that happens 30 minutes to an hour after the earnings reports. I'm not going to be live during that time, but I'm going to be listening in to these calls. So, Google might be in the red right now, but it might end up in the green, right? Based off of what is stated in that earnings call. Or it might even be more in the red. Same thing and vice versa for Microsoft. Microsoft is in the green right now. By the time it has its earnings call, it might be in the red, or maybe more in the green. This is why it's just important to pay attention to these earning calls. Lower highs on Google, right? More selling pressure on Google. That's not going to be helping out the market. Oh, it looks like NASDAQ is trying to recover. Is Microsoft running? Yeah, Microsoft is running up a little bit. Imagine if you kept shorting American Airlines. Where's that bad boy at right now? Yikes. Okay. $11. Yeah, that would have been nice, right? I covered my short at like 15, like right in the highs of 16, right? Because it was very overbought. I had fun with that one. Hope you guys had fun watching it. But now it's very oversold, but there's no indication of a reversal. Now it's super oversold to the point where it's like, but there's a reason why on why it's selling off so much. So just no reason to try to predict the future. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We're never going to find the perfect bottom. But guess what? There's so much margin to be made. Once we do get confirmation, that's all I care about. I don't care about being perfect. Obviously, we just want to get in and get out when it makes sense. But there's margin. There's margin to be made. Even out of that 40%, if I make 15%, I'm happy with that. You have to understand. I mean, I don't make 15% per trade, right? Every single time I trade. So if I have fun with a quick little trade and I walk away with 10 to 15%, that's a win for me. Boy. Oh, man. What's going on, Snow RBX? What's up? Thank you, Ricky, for reminding us. Of course, Jason. Of course. Look at that. It's going back into that 6% in the red. Oh, man. Google is a Debbie Downer today. But maybe some bears are happy about it. Wow. Oh. It doesn't look like it's slowing down. But Microsoft is holding its own. If we didn't have Microsoft right now, I don't even know how much the market would be down. Oh, that would be interesting. All good, bro. My Microsoft long printed 1.8K. I like that. But I had to take it out because of Google's reaction. Playing it safe, not bad. Happy to hear that you ended in the green. Congratulations. Yeah. So we'll be covering that. I appreciate that, Day Trader Cut. We'll be covering that during tomorrow's live stream for new home sales, right? Right now, a big focus for the Federal Reserve for monetary policy is how is our economy doing, right? New home sales, that report comes out 30 minutes after the market opens, and I will be covering that within tomorrow's live trading session. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. First off, I appreciate all of you guys taking time out of your Tuesday to join me for this live stream. I do this every single day right at market open. It's a private live stream only for my LPP team, and for any trades that are taken within that live stream, you get to see all of my entries, you get to see all of my exits, but most importantly, you get to hear my thought process behind every single trade. And that's the whole point, right? Imagine being able to understand the why behind I'm buying, why behind I'm selling, why am I cutting losses, right, on bad trades. You get to see all of the good, you get to see all of the bad, and if you're tired of trying to figure this all out on your own, I would love to have you for tomorrow's live trading session and every session moving forward. Remember, it's a one-time payment, lifetime access. You get to watch me trade live every single day, and it's the only group that I work with on a closer basis. It's the second link in the description down below, and it's $175 off. If you have any issues with the link, send me a direct message either via Discord or via Instagram, which is also linked in the description down below. But again, I would love to have you for tomorrow's live session and see how the market actually reacts to what is going on with big tech, because we have some pretty confusing earning reports that are being released, and it puts us almost back to square one, where it's like we have one way in the green, one way in the red, and they're almost polar opposites of one another. So it's kind of like, hey, what does this mean for the overall market, right? We have Meta reporting earnings tomorrow, and if it's anything like Google, it doesn't look very good. And then we have Amazon reporting earnings on Thursday, which I also do plan to live stream. So again, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I hope that it earned your thumbs up. And if you want to be able to watch me trade live, again, it's the second link in the description down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's the third link in the description down below. It is my only Instagram account. And I want to remind you, I work with one team and one team only. It's my LPP team. Every other account out there is fake. I'm verified on Instagram, I'm verified on YouTube, and I'm verified on Twitter. I don't have any other accounts. I will never message you first. I don't trade for other people. There's a bunch of fake accounts that will always pretend to be me and try to encourage you to invest into some form of crypto fund. I don't do anything like that, right? I work and trade live every single day with my LPP team. That is all. So if you want to work with me, second link in the description down below. If not, regardless, I wish you nothing but the best. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And man, this Google drop is not stopping. 6.4% in the red, and it's about to make new lows. Look at that. Oh, man. I like that, Eric. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Microsoft is in the green. We have Google in the red, though. So, and again, for everyone that is part for everyone that's part of our LPP team, this is the exact reason that we talked about staying cash today, right? You guys saw it during today's live trading session. There's a few trades that we were about to take due to the uncertainty. I kept talking about, hey, this is why maybe it's not a bad idea to stay cash. And now I feel like I'm in a perfect position. I feel like I'm in a very controlled position where I get to choose. Do I want to go long with the market or do I want to short the market, right? Based off of what is being released. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and I'm going to wait for the earnings call. I'm going to wait to see how the market reacts to that because again, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. All that matters is based off of what is said, what does the market make of it and how will it react? So very excited to follow up with that. Again, hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, I'll see you for tomorrow. I'll see you at tomorrow's live trading session. All right, team, take care.